What's going on, everyone? We are back in Fallout 4 land, continuing on our no mods gameplay here, back in Sanctuary, and we need to go to investigate Concord, so we're going to finish up that journey. And we're going to take a nice little walk there. Oh. And find some rounds. Nice. Okay, so last time we did the intro, went through the beginning stage. We found our companion Dogmeat, who's going to run with us, and we already cleared out the red rocket. So we're going to pass by that on our way to Concord. Oh, if only gas prices were that low in real life. Let's see if we can hit this guy. We did. And one friend. Where'd the other one go? Did this one run away? Alright, I guess they ran away. That's good. Then I don't have to waste any ammunition. Oh, wait. It went that way. There we go. Let's wait till it gets closer. Get a higher percentage. Alright. Sometimes when I'm running through, I like to randomly just hit the button for the VATS, so it'll let me know if there's anybody in range that I don't see. If I hit the VATS, it'll target them. Oh. There's a raider. Let's sneak up on him. I'm gonna take all their stuff. And we're gonna continue to sneaky sneak.
Just getting warmed up.
No! Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
Alright, so we got a little quest here to help these guys out. I'm gonna loot some of these first. And we're gonna grab that. And we're gonna change to it. So we got a short laser musket, which is pretty good, but it's a one shot, and so I have to hit the reload button to crank it once, and that gives me half power. Crank it again, and that gives me full power, and then you got to do that every time you shoot. If you're using VATS, then what it'll do is, if you have the action points for it, it'll perform the crank for you. So you don't have to do it if you're doing multiple shots while using VATS. But if you're not, then you're going to have to crank it. So let's head on in. Alright. to switch back to the pistol because I like it better.
Disappear now. Huh?
Oh yeah, so accurate. Okay, check out these little alcoves. That's locked. Got some more rounds. And then this is a locked door, so you can either log it with at the gate or at the computer terminal. So if I go to the computer terminal and I go to unlock it, what it's going to do is going to give you this gibberish, and as you can see, there's words in there, and basically what you do is you pick a word and it'll tell you if you're correct or not, and if any of the numbers match, it'll be displayed on the screen. So if I just went for the word again, then 0 of those letters in those positions match. So I wouldn't want to try added because it begins with an A like again does, and that's not going to work. So let's try taunt because that one's different. That has a likeness of 1. So then I would look for words that have the same letter in the same position and pick it that way until I get the right one. And if I do it wrong 3 times, then what happens is you'll get locked out, and then you'll have to wait 10 seconds to try it again. Alternately, I can do the lock picking, and this is where the bobby pin comes in. So you adjust the bobby pin with the left stick, use the right stick to turn the screwdriver. If it's correct, it'll rotate open and unlock. If it resists, then you have to reposition it. So you have this range of movement for it, and then I use the other stick to rotate the screwdriver. So that's not correct, and then we'll move it a little bit and see. That's even less correct, so we'll go the other way. Almost there. And then you get it. We're going to grab this fusion core because I know we're going to need it later. And we're going to continue up. Actually, if we go this way, there's stuff. So, always looking to get stuff.
Get the hell out of here. We got no reason to hang around and get shot.
Stop being such a fucking pansy. We hold out for the others, like we're
And
supposed
I can hear
to.
some people
What are you,
here, so
deaf?
we're going to go
Somebody's out
slowly.
there shooting the place up. I ain't sitting around waiting to die.
I swear to God, you make a move for that exit, and I'll gut you myself. Now shut your mouth, or we'll never get the drop on this. Fucking hot.
Oh yeah, I am missing all the shots today. Oops, didn't want to do that. Alright.
I'm coming in there, and I'm gonna skin every last one of you.
Come on, man. They ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to deal with.
You hear that? I gotta
Check the
take a
fridge
little
first
walk.
for a snack.
I'll be back. Oh.
Killed him!
Drop those 2 dudes. And that's all of them, so now the door opens so we can get to them, but I'm going to loot these other guys first. And I'm looting everything because so the uniforms that they have, or the outfits that they have, and the weapons, you can use later, and you can either like sell them or you can scrap them for materials when you're building, and also you can use them for your companions. If you have a human companion, you can give them those outfits for better armor and outfit them like you would outfit yourself, or you can use them for yourself if they're better. Okay, so let's go in here and talk to them, and let's see how this goes.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
Glad to help.
That ain't it.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Please, go on.
God damn it.
A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. First, it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
Sorry. Sounds rough.
God damn it.
Thanks. It's good to meet someone who really cares. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong. But,
That ain't it.
well, we do have one idea.
One good idea can make all the difference.
Sturgis. Tell him.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor. Military issue.
I like it.
Yeah, I thought you might. Protection with an added bonus. Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the vertibird. Do that, and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right? Only there's one hitch. The suit's out of juice. Probably been dry for 100 years. It can be powered up again. But we're a bit stuck.
I'll help if I can.
What you'll need is an old pre-war FC. A standardized fusion core. Your high-grade, long-term nuclear battery used by the military and some companies way back when. And we know right where to find one.
But we can't get to the damn thing. It's down in the basement. Locked behind a security gate. Look, I fix stuff. I tinker. Bypassing security ain't exactly my forte. You could give it a shot.
Yeah, so as you can see here, we have the option to say that we already have it because we picked that up. That's what we picked that security log for. If you didn't do that ahead of time, then it'll just give you a different option. So you can say, yeah, I'll go grab it. So I'm going to let them know that I already have it, and then we can continue on.
Actually, I already grabbed the fusion core. We're set.
Well, all right. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
All right, so we got the fusion core. Now we're going to go get that power armor, but we're going to make a stop at this desk first and get this bobblehead. So these are bobbleheads, and they'll increase either a perk or a special stat. This one is the perception bobblehead, so now my perception is permanently increased by 1. So we'll go ahead and take that, and then we are going to head over here, following the green squares to get to the exit, and we're going to go out to the Commonwealth. Alright, let's grab some more stuff here. And we're going to walk up to this power armor, and we got to put in the fusion core first. Power it up, and then we can jump in. Alright, so we're going to get a different heads-up display here, and we're going to kind of move fast while we're doing this because this eats the power core. And we're going to be able to grab this vertibird because we are now stronger with the power armor, and we can carry more. So here is a raider. Let's minigun him down. Nice. And we're going to pick up more stuff. And it's probably weird, but we're going
Why
to
don't you
sneak
get down here?
in this power
Show me
armor.
that fancy gun up close. Not a lot of people could get past my boys. I'll give you that. Come on, I've got places to be. Hold up.
Oh, horrible. Now, the good thing about power armor, too, is that you don't take any fall damage. So, I can just jump down from anywhere. And we're going to take out these raiders. Let's see. So where's this guy at? And that is a Deathclaw. Oop. And that's the bad thing of the minigun is it'll overheat
Disappearing, huh?
and stop firing every now and again. Now we have to just finish off the rest of the raiders. And then we can continue on. That looks like it. So I'm going to loot everything, and I'm going to put away the minigun for the pistol. Okay. Alright, so that was the leader, and he has some interesting loot. He gave us the Corvega storage key, so if we ever find that, then we can open that up. Alright, so we're going to head back in, and we're going to have some more conversations with Preston.
You okay?
I'm fine, Preston. Quit fussing.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you were on our side.
The feeling's mutual, Preston.
You can never have too many friends. Not in the Commonwealth. Listen, when we first met, you said you were glad to help. Well, you did. And we owe you our lives. So here. It ain't much, but it's the best way I can say thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Well, since you say that, maybe you'll come to Sanctuary with us. We could use your help getting settled there.
All right, Garvey. I'm in.
Oh, that's wonderful. But there's more to your destiny, isn't there? I've seen it, and I know your pain.
Please, tell me. I need to know.
You're a man out of time, out of hope. But all's not lost. I can feel your son's energy. He's alive.
I knew it. Please, tell me where he is.
I need to find my son.
I can't see him. Not clearly. But I feel his life force. He's out there. And even I don't need the sight to tell you where you should start looking. The great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Diamond City. The biggest settlement around.
Please, Mama Murphy, I'm working for nothing. I need more.
Look, kid, I'm tired now. Maybe you'll bring me some chems later. The sight will paint a clearer picture.
No, Mama Murphy, we talked about.
All right, so she says we should go to
Ah, shush, Preston.
the Great Green Jewel, which is Diamond City, and investigate there to help find our son. So at this point, we can either
We're all gonna die eventually.
just forget about the
We're gonna-
rest of this quest, which is to join him in Sanctuary and go to the Commonwealth, or we can continue on with them. So I'm gonna go meet Preston in Sanctuary, and we're gonna go over that quest first. There's not a time limit on the quests, so if you go there first or second, there's nothing really that's gonna change with it. You're not going to miss out on that quest or miss out on something, so we don't have to worry about going for that quest first. So let's head back to Sanctuary. I'm actually going to fast travel there by going to the map. We'll click on Sanctuary, and then we get a lovely little waiting screen. Looks like we leveled up, so I'm going to pick another perk here, which we're going to do Scrounger, so I can find more, and then I'm going to exit out of this power armor so I don't waste the fusion core, and then I'm going to hit transfer, and I'm going to take out the fusion core. But now I'm walking slow because I picked up all the stuff with the power armor, and I'm overburdened. So let's go ahead and drop some of that stuff here. I'm going to hit Y to store all the junk, and then I'm going to go through and just get rid of some things. So I'm going to drop all the weapons that do less damage than mine. I'm going to drop the minigun because it's really heavy and I don't need it. When you're dropping stuff here, so this pipe auto pistol, there's 7 of them. So if I hit the button once, which is A to store it, it'll ask me the quantity. I'm going to do all 7 and it'll drop it. If it's less, I think it's less than 5, so this one has 4. If I hit the button, it'll drop it one by one. So I have to hit it 4 times to drop it. The shotgun does more damage, but it's for only close-up, so we're not going to use that now. I'm going to keep the musket, the laser musket, for longer range in case I need it. And we're going to drop everything else. And we can pick some stuff here. Let's see. I'm actually going to keep the glasses on for the perception. So I'm going to drop all the masks. I don't need those. I don't want to take the harness because it's going to override the jumpsuit that we have. I want to keep the jumpsuit, but we can do some of these leather armor, which it looks like we have, but let me check what else is there. If it might be something. Actually, well, oops, didn't want to do that. So I accidentally stored that. Let's go to this side and get that back. I'm going to exit out and take a look at the inventory here, so then I can put them on. So we're going to put on this full set of leather and then check out the rest to see if anything's better. So this is better armor but less electrical. Same. The sack is a headpiece. We're not going to do neither. We're going to do, actually, Welding goggles are the same as the glasses, so we're gonna put on the welding goggles. And then we'll take a look at the outfit. As you can see, it goes on over what we have currently. So now I can go back and we can drop the rest of this stuff off. Where we have it equipped, but there's extra pieces, we can just drop off the extra pieces without fear of losing what we have. And I'm kind of going a little slow with this because sometimes if you go too fast and the scrolling gets weird, you can accidentally drop something that you're wearing, and you don't really want to do that. And then I'm going to drop all the drugs. So this buff out, which does give strength and endurance, I'm going to drop it because I don't use a lot of the drugs in here. They're good for a little bit, but since we're on very easy, we're not going to need them. And they just, I mean, they add very little weight, but it's still weight. Also, if you don't have the proper perk, then what happens is if you keep using the drugs, you could get addicted, and that has negative effects for you. You have to like go and get cured, which can be a chore. I'm going to drop all the food that has rads on it. These Dandy Boy apples, you can't really fix these. Like you can cook, other meats to get rid of the rads. You can't really do that with these prepackaged foods. So we're going to drop those. Drop the Mentats. Psycho. We're going to keep the Rad-X for radiation. The Radaway, same thing. And stim packs. And then I'm going to drop this log. So these holotapes that you pick up, they kind of are part of the lore, and sometimes they'll give you quests. I'm not really concerned with those right now, so we're just going to drop this off. And I'll show you what we do with the bobbleheads in a couple here. But we're going to keep all the ammunition because ammo doesn't count for your weight. All right, so we are now waiting for Preston Garvey to get here. Let's see on the map. They're still at Red Rocket. So while we're here and we're waiting, I'm going to go back into the workshop mode and scrap some more stuff. I'm also going to scrap this bed for now. Although I could have stored it, which is probably something I should have done. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'd sometimes just get like scrap happy. Scrapping and building in this game are two of my favorite things to do. Okay, so now updated, and we have 5 people here, so they're probably in town. They're close, but I'm just going to finish up this while we're here. Okay. And then for this cap stash, to get these cap stash, you can't be in the workshop mode to grab them for some reason. So we'll exit out, and then we'll enter back in. And I rarely like to save anything. I just like to scrap all of it. Or all of it that you can, depending on how you're playing. If you're playing with mods, you can scrap a lot more than what you can without mods. Look at that. Okay, that house is done. We'll exit out and go find Preston. Who is this way, I guess. Is he still? Yeah, he's here. Alright, so let's go through this conversation.
Hey there.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. I should have listened to Mama Murphy all along. Pretty nice place she's found for us. I think we could settle down here. Make it a place to call home. What do you think?
Yeah. I used to like living here. Before the war.
What do you mean? Before what war? Are you saying...
I lived here over 200 years ago. I was frozen or something for most of it. Just woke up a little while ago.
Damn. Like one of those old pre-war ghouls. You say you were frozen. Anybody else make it out with you?
My son. Somebody took him away while I was still trapped. I've been looking for him.
Damn. I'm sorry. I hope you find him. Let me know if there's any way I can help. Anyway, I am glad you're here. And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help. There's still hope in there are Minutemen out there somewhere. The only chance to start rebuilding the Minutemen is to show people that they can count on us when they need us. Trouble is, I've got my hands full here. Do you think you could go help out the settlement?
Okay, so at this point you can say no and continue on with your search for your son. It's not going to affect what happens with this NPC too much. It just changes, you know, the things that you do in the story. At some point,
I don't think we were done.
you're going to have to probably pick yes if you want to join the Minutemen for part of it, but there's other factions to join. I'm going to say yes just
I'd be glad to help.
That's
to get it
fantastic.
going.
The Minutemen could use more people like you. By the way, if you want to help out around here at all, talk to Sturgis. I'm sure he'd be glad for all the help he can get.
All right, so that finished that quest and gave us a level, and then gave us another quest to talk to the settlers at 10 Pines Buff. So it gives us that on our map. I'm going to level up first, and then we're going to talk to Sturgis. So I wanted Sneak next. So I'm sneakier. And then let's go find Sturgis, which he's not showing up, so I have to go to quests and miscellaneous and then press the A button twice to mark it so it'll show up on my little display here. So now I can see that he's 20 away. We're going to head over to him and we're going to do these quests, which is going to teach us about building.
That Deathclaw in Concord was bad news, huh, Mama? You ever seen one of those suckers before?
Oh,
You willing to do some
sure.
work?
Plenty. One time.
I'd be glad to help. Just tell me what you need.
all by
Well, for
myself.
starters, we could
No
use some
power,
real
no
beds.
fancy
We've been
names
sleeping on the
it,
ground for
just
too
a
long.
pipe.
Just make sure we can sleep with a roof over our heads.
It's
Some of these old houses still look solid enough to do the trick.
back in
There's a
the
workbench
day,
over there you can use.
quite the
Give me a holler if you need anything.
Alright,
sanctuary.
so I have to
I
build
know join us
beds
here.
for those people. When I go in the workshop mode, there's 5 people, so we need to build 5 beds to cover it. I'm selfish. I don't want them to stay in my house, so I'm going to choose a different house. We're going to choose this one, and I'm going to clear it out and then build beds for them. Now, stuff like this bubble gum, it doesn't give you the option to scrap it, as you can see. It just gives you the option to store it. So I'm going to go ahead and store that in the workshop to get rid of it here. And the same for the Nuka-Cola, pork and beans. Most of the food stuff, it will not let you scrap it. Okay, so here's the safe. So we can try to unlock it, which we're going to do. Oops, and I broke a bobby pin. Awesome.
Yes.
So now, if you don't want to try the safes, you don't have to. You can scrap them, and then whatever is in there will get sent to your inventory. I like to try to pick them if I have the skills for it, because then you get XP for doing that. And XP is always good for leveling. So let's continue on with this scrapping. Okay, all clean. So now we're going to lay down beds for them. And we'll use the nice looking beds. There's not really a thing of like making people's own spaces. I mean, you can do that later if you want. For now, I'm just going to lay down the beds to get this done with. I'm not really too concerned about how it looks because I'm going to be fixing that at a later date. For now, we're just going to drop some in. Alright, so that's 5. So we're going to exit out, and then we're going to go find Sturgis again.
Hey,
Sturgis.
do you have a moment? I like it. Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's spirits. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great. Thanks again.
You're tied to this place, kid. Your energy.
Yeah, as you can see, you get close, and they'll have conversations with you, which we're not going to go over now. We're going to go get the water situation settled. So we'll go back into workshop mode, and we're going to go to the main menu under resources, and there is water. So you have a couple different choices. You have a water pump, which produces 3. A powered one, which is 10. Another one, which is 10, but requires less power than this pump. And then this industrial one, which requires 5 power but produces 40. The ones with the concrete, these two that have the concrete on them, you can put them in the ground. This one you can't put in the ground, you have to put in water. And this takes a lot more resources than what this one would take. For now, we're just going to go with this one. The amount of water you need needs to be at least 5. So we're going to drop 2 of these. We're just going to put them over here. Right. And now we talk to Sturgis again.
Sturgis.
I feel better already, knowing we have a reliable supply of clean water. I hope you don't mind me asking for some more help, but our food supplies are running low. If we're gonna settle here, we'll need to get some crops established.
I'll start planting right away.
Good deal.
Okay. Now if we go back into the workshop mode, and we're in resources, there's the food option, and it'll let you know what you have. So, do we have anything? We don't, but it does show. Oh, actually, we do. Oh, we're talking about that. All right, hold on. So yeah, we don't have anything here. I'm going to exit out, but we do have melon here, so we're going to harvest.
Seems to be growing well.
And also the gourd. Since they're already planted, they count towards the food. So since I harvest them, that means I can plant them again. So we have 2 gourds and 2 melons. So we're just going to plant them wherever we can. Which gives us 2.5 food. I'm going to see if I picked up any food somewhere else. Although if it's in the workshop, it should show up here. But we're going to check just in case. Yeah, we don't have any more food. So we are stuck on that one for a bit until either this populates more or we find some more food. So while we're waiting for that, we're going to scrap some more. And maybe we'll find some. So normally you have to assign people for the food, but that NPC assigned themselves to it. So you don't have to worry about that. More caps. All right. Scrappy, scrappy. Oops. Let's go this way. And we're going to exit out here. And we're going to go around the back of this house. And there is a cellar, which we're going to go explore. Now this is a different cell than the town. So you can't scrap anything in here because I mean it's within the boundaries physically of the town, but since it's a different cell, it doesn't count as being in the town or part of the settlement. So we can't scrap anything in here. We're just going to pick everything up that we can, and then we can just add it to our workshop for use. The only thing I'm not going to pick up is these burnt trade magazines because they don't really do anything. They just take up space. This is advanced save, so it's too difficult to pick. We'll have to remember that and come back later. We got some beer. And I don't think we got anything. Nope, we did not get any seeds. Okay. So we'll go back out. some mut fruit, which if we look, we go into the workshop mode, we can now, or actually we can't, I thought we could, but apparently we cannot plant that, because that does not count for that. So I think it's because it's wild mut fruit. We need the regular mut fruit for it to work. So let's go deposit all this goodies in here. Drop that pipe pistol. This blood packs we're going to keep because they just give us HP back, so that's good. Drop the drugs, drop the cram, the cakes. The stout, it's kind of the same thing as drugs, but it counts as alcohol, so it's a different addictive than the drugs, but it is the same thing. Like, you can get addicted to it, even though it gives you these adds to your special. So we're going to drop those there. Psycho. Purified water we're going to keep because it has no rads in it. And we're going to drop in the mud fruit. So I'm also going to go through for now and drop in the uncooked meat that we have. So those are all cooked, which I guess is just the Deathclaw. Because the workshops are linked, so if I go over to the cooking station, I should still be able to use that Deathclaw meat, even though I don't have it on me. So if I go to roast, there's a Deathclaw steak, which gives 185 HP. Add your agility for an hour, and it's pretty valuable. So let's go ahead and make that. Actually, let me, yeah. And then we're going to do some more scrapping over here before we check on our plants to see if they have finished growing. I'm going to leave that trash can there because I like it. Let's head back this way and we can check on our plants, which they still haven't grown. I don't know exactly how long it takes for them to grow, so not really sure what the wait time is, but just to make it go by faster. Well, actually first, so these bloat flies we can't get rid of, and I don't know if anybody else cares, but I kind of don't like to have just dead things. So I'm going to hold down A, and it lets me grab the bloat flies, and we're going to carry them out. And we're just going to deposit them somewhere out of the way. You can do this with bodies. If you kill raiders in a settlement and you want them out, you can just pick them up and move them out. They're not usually too heavy. Sometimes if something is too heavy to pick up, you can grab the power armor and then pick it up. Oh, and you gotta be careful of where you walk these to, because if you go too fast, they'll drop. If you walk them into something, they'll drop. So you got to kind of do a slower walk on some of them. Okay, this will be our graveyard for things we've killed. And there's one more. Let's go ahead and grab that guy. And gone. Alright, cool. So now we don't have to look at it. So let's see. Is this... Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and sleep for a while. We're going to do 24 hours, which is the max. And then see what our plants look like. Okay. Alright, they're there. Or at least a couple of them.
Seems
So
to
we
be
got
growing
one,
well.
2, and a gourd. So the ones that we planted have repopulated, but the other ones have not. Let's go back into the workshop. I'm going to remove these fence parts that fell down. And then we are going to plant again. We got the gourd. And melons. Okay, we still need one more. So each one is 0.5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we just need one more to get us to 10. Let's go rest for another day and see if those other ones will pop up. Super exciting, right? Just watching me plant stuff and then sleeping for 24 hours. So riveting. I can hear everyone who's watching just sitting there shivering with anticipation as to what's going to come next. All right. Now, if this doesn't show up now, then we'll probably just go and do that other quest for Ten Pines Bluff while we're waiting, which they did not show up. So yeah, let's just go do that other quest. So as you can see on the map, we need to get over here. I'm going to fast travel to Concord to cut the journey a little bit. That way you don't have to watch me run through the whole thing. Alright, and then I think we just need to go this way. Yeah, so we'll have to go about like that way. It doesn't show yet, but once we get close enough, you'll start to see the little icon down there for Ten Pines Bluff. And I'm always going to have my weapon out just in case something jumps out, because there's animals, bugs, all kinds of things. You could run across raiders or ghouls on your way through, so you want to be prepared. Let's go this way and we'll take the road. We'll make a couple stops. Like we're going to stop in this bus. Oh wait, the dog found something. Oh, he's going the way we were going to go. Alright, so sometimes the buses will have these little first aid kits, or if someone was on the bus at the time of the blast, there might be like a suitcase there or some items on the corpse. I'm going to walk kind of close to this, but we're not really going to go all the way in. We're just going to go in enough to discover it, to get the XP, and then that marks it on the map so we can fast travel there if we need to, and then we're going to continue on. Now, I don't want to sprint too much for this, because if we come across a couple of enemies that are attacking us and we want to use VATS, we're going to need our action points for that. Okay, so I'm pointed in that direction. As you can see down at the bottom here, near the green box, there is a little icon that matches the icon that's there. So we're going to center that and head that way. Oh, and there's some enemies. Cool. So usually if it's below, I guess 80%, I will use 2 shots on it, just in case the first one misses like it did that time on the first guy. But for the 84%, I usually just do 1 because it'll hit. 80% and up, it usually should hit. But sometimes you miss, so, you know. Whatever works best for you, go ahead and use it.
What do you want? We don't need any more trouble around here.
Take it easy. I'm with the Minutemen. I'm here to help.
You're with the Minutemen? I didn't really think you fellas still existed. We sent word with one of them passing traders, but honestly, I never expected anything to come of it. Most people don't put much stock in the Minutemen these days, after Quincy. Bad business, that.
We're rebuilding the Minutemen from the ground up. We're the good guys again.
Glad to hear it. No question that things have been worse since the Minutemen fell to pieces. There's a raider gang that's been giving us trouble for weeks, stealing food and supplies, threatening to kill us all if we don't pony up. We know where they're coming from, but we can't go up against a gang like that.
Don't worry. I'll take care of those raiders for you.
Thanks, friend. If you folks are for real this time, it'll be a welcome change for the better.
Alright, so they want us to take care of some raiders at Walden Pond. So as you can see, it's not immediately on the map, but there's a little box down here with arrow. So we'll scroll over, and that's where we need to get to take care of them. So I'm going to fast travel back to Concord since it's closer, and then we'll head down that way. So, we need to head for this one, which is going to be this way. There shouldn't be too much stuff in Concord, so I'm just going to sprint through a little bit, and then we'll head on down that way. More bloat flies. Oh, that one's stuck. Oh, geez. Okay. That's weird. Well, that is a bug that's literally bugged, so we're just gonna leave it alone. That's super meta. A bugged bug. Okay, yeah, we are heading the right direction. Okay, now I can see the pond icon. Oh, let's see what's in this bus. And this truck. Nothing in the truck. Oh, it's a teddy bear. All right. And a chem cooler with corn. Okay, that's cool. Oh, shoot. And there's bugs. Taking rads. Okay. Oh, we didn't take too many, so that's not bad. We're just going to leave that there. But we're going to take all that. And now we will continue to the pond. Not usually I'd probably be going a lot slower than this, but since it's on very easy, you know, I'm kind of not too worried about it. So here's the pond, and I'm going to head towards the little door icon down there. Oh, we're in water. Probably should not go in the water because of the rads. But there's this door icon, which means there's an entryway here, so it looks like we're going in through the sewer entrance, which leads to a cutscene. And now we're going to be a little sneaky.
So this guy made sure he had everything he needed before he started his camping trip in that little shack up top. Double-checked his list and everything. That's why they
So
call
hopefully
it
you guys can hear that
Ian
they're
the
talking to
Rebel.
each other here, which means we're close.
This guy invented
Fucking guy for me.
Kill him!
Alright, so there's those two. And we're going to take all kinds of stuff over here. Reload. Always use a shovel.
Disappearing act, huh?
no sign of him now.
Alright, so we're going to take these chimes because they are like an early warning system, and if you just run through them, you'll alert people to where you're at. But we want to be super sneaky, so. Alright, there's that person. Who is now dead. Yay. And then. Stop moving. Stop moving. There you go. Alright. So it was just 4 that we needed. As you can see on the left, it tells us that we finished it. So let's go ahead and loot them. And it looks like we got a key. So we got the gift shop key, which is probably for something close. So we're going to loot everything down here and hopefully not get overburdened. Perfect. Oh, sorry. I went over that wrench pretty fast. So, I don't know if that was a weapon? Yeah, so that was a weapon, a special weapon. 20% chance to cripple the target's legs. Damage 18, speed medium, weight 2, value 150. I don't really like a lot of melee weapons, so we're probably not going to use it, but we can sell it for 150. I tried to hit the map, and I held the button down for longer, which brought up the flashlight for the Pip-Boy, which is why you see this green, which helps when it's really dark, but not usually anywhere else, so I need to hold the A button again to get rid of it. Oh, we got a mining helmet. So we can wear that without taking off the goggles. Gives us damage resistance 3. So we're going to put that on. And now I got a mining helmet. Yeah. Oh, and lunchboxes. Nice. A souvenir magnet frog. Nothing in the lockers. Let's see, what else can we loot? Ah, so there's where we can use the key. So we can take all of this stuff. Well, that's good. Now we don't have to go anywhere else for the key. Some cans, because aluminum is always needed. And then we will go back and see if we missed anything, which we missed a bunch of stuff here. Take all that, and I think that's going to be it. Alright, so now we're going to head out and go back to Ten Pines Bluff. Which, since we've already been there, we can fast travel, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get back. Alright. So it shows that we cleared that spot when we mouse over it. Which I'm not sure why it doesn't do it for Concord and Museum of Freedom, but that's okay. So now we're going to pop in here and we're going to let them know that we kill them off, and then we're going to have a little brief conversation. Okay. Ah, there they are.
You find those raiders?
Yeah, I took care of them.
No kidding? That's the best piece of news we've had around here for a good long time. So we've been talking. We decided if you came through for us, we'd join up with the Minutemen again. If we want things to get better, we've got to start helping each other. So, we're in. You can count on us if you need help down the line. Thanks again, friend.
Alright, so now we have this as part of our settlement system, and we can use this workshop. So they have a lot of food and enough water and beds for them, but they don't really have any power or defenses. But we're going to worry about that a little bit later. For now, we're just going to go back to Preston Garvey and let them know. Actually, while we're here, I'm going to harvest a couple of these plants, and we can plant them as well at a different settlement. So in case the other ones didn't finish growing, we can just plant one and then we can be done with that food. Alright, so let's see if the food's there first, which it is. So let's
seems to be growing well.
Harvest so that we have some extra just in case. And then we're just going to plant one, which I think, oops. I'm going to do a potato plant. Actually, let's do two, just in case. Okay. So now we have enough food. Everybody's asleep. That's okay. We're going to wake them up. Because we got things to do, you know? Can't worry about people sleeping. Get up.
Sturgis.
Well, this place is starting to feel like home. Now that we can grow our own food, I think we can really make a go with this. Trouble is, the more we establish ourselves here, the more of a target we become. What we need is to get some defenses set up. Then maybe Preston will be able to relax a little bit.
I'm on it.
Ah, thanks. It'll make everyone feel more secure here.
Alright, so now we need to build defenses. So let's head out here.
Sir, welcome back, sir. I do hope you were able to find some assistance in Concord.
Alright, I'm just gonna
You could say that.
finish
I made
this.
a few new friends.
Can't have enough of those these days. I realize that I'm no Mr. Gutsy, but if needed, I'd be honored to accompany you throughout the Commonwealth. Just say the word.
Okay, so he's offering to be my companion. I already have dog meat, so I'm going to stick with dog meat, so I'm just going to tell him no for now.
Not now.
All right, then.
But later on, if you want to switch him out and have him as your companion, you can do so. And then you can just dismiss dog meat. So, like, if I...
Hey.
Since he's my companion,
How you
if I
doing,
go to
buddy?
talk to him, and then I can say dismiss,
Why don't you wait at home, boy?
it'll let me choose one of my settlements to send him to. So, if I send him to Sanctuary Hills, then he'll just stay in Sanctuary Hills. And then you can talk to him again, and then for this one it says,
Come
let's
on,
go.
boy. It's time to go.
And then now he's your companion again. Alright, let's drop over here. We are going to transfer this stuff. And we are going to drop some of this other stuff first. Bourbon, canned dog food, corn cram. All right, we're going to keep the dirty water because you can use it for other things. Actually, we're not going to keep it on us, so let's store that. But you can use that in recipes. This stealth boy, it's pretty helpful if you're going someplace and you need to be like super sneaky. When you crouch while sneaking, it'll turn you invisible for a little bit and make you harder to find. We don't need that now, so we're going to get rid of it. We're going to store the lunchbox. And then let's take a look and see if we picked up any cooler armor that we can trade out for. So boiled leather right leg, that is more armor and electrical resistance than what we have, so we're going to switch that out. And that appears to be it, so let's drop the rest of it. Alright. Now let's talk to Preston while he's here to finish this up.
Someone like you.
You know that settlement you sent me to help? They've decided to join the Minutemen.
That's great news. I knew you were the right person for the job. By the way, you should have one of these flare guns. You can use it to signal for help from any nearby Minutemen. Not much use yet, but once we have more allied settlements, you'll have help whenever you need it. I don't think I ever told you what happened to the Minutemen. How I ended up as the last one.
Okay, so now he's going to tell us a really long story. I guess since we're here, we're going to listen to it. So
I figured you'd tell me when you were ready.
Have you heard of the Quincy Massacre?
You guys came from Quincy, didn't you?
That's right. Mama Murphy, Sturgis, the Longs. They were all from Quincy. I was with Colonel Hollis's group. A mercenary group called the Gunners was attacking Quincy. The people there called for the Minutemen to help. We were the only ones that came. The other groups, they just turned their backs on us and the folks in Quincy. Only a few of us got out alive. Colonel Hollis was dead, so I ended up in charge of the survivors. We never found a safe place to settle. One disaster after another. You saw how it ended in Concord.
As long as you don't give up, the Minutemen will survive.
I'm not about to give up, but I can't protect the Commonwealth all by myself. Hell, I could barely protect these people. That's why I'm talking to you. I can't rebuild the Minutemen, but I think you can.
Hey, that means a lot coming from you, Garvey.
I appreciate that. Does that mean you'll do it?
Okay, I'll do it.
Good. Good. Welcome aboard. I feel like this is a whole new start for the Minutemen, and the Commonwealth too. Don't worry, I'll be right beside you all the way, General.
That's quite a promotion you just gave me.
The leader of the Minutemen has always held the rank of General. Our last leader was General Becker. After he died back in '82, nobody could agree on who should take his place. The one good thing about being the last Minuteman is there's no one to argue with me when I say you're the new general. Now it's your job to make it more than an empty title. I've gotten word about a settlement that's being threatened by raiders. I'll mark it on your map. Go find out what they need. We could use more settlements supporting our cause.
Okay, so a lot happened in that conversation. So we became the leader of the Minutemen. The Minutemen is one of the 4 factions that are in this game. To progress to the end, you're going to need help from at least one faction. So for the purpose of this, we're going to use the Minutemen because it was the fastest. While we were talking, you probably saw where it said Codsworth tolerates us, and Codsworth likes that. Any NPC that counts as your companion, and when they're near you and you do certain actions, they'll either like it or dislike it. There's a loyalty system for companions to where if they dislike you enough, they will not travel with you, and if they like you enough and you reach the highest point, and you get certain perks when that happens. So we'll try that. There are other things too that you can do which will have really bad repercussions. I think I played one time and I accidentally shot the wrong person and everybody hated it. And so wherever I went then, everybody would just shoot at me because I was like the most hated person in the Commonwealth at that point. So, but yeah, so now we're the leader of the Minutemen, and then Preston Garvey gave us another quest to help another settlement, which if you've seen the memes by now, that's like pretty much all he does, and people get sick of it because it seems like every time you talk to him, there's another settlement that needs help, and they always need help, and it's a never-ending job. We're going to ignore that one for now, and we're going to finish building defenses for Sanctuary. So now there's a couple places where I like to build defenses, and there's some stuff online that you can look at that'll show you where attackers spawn, because every now and again your settlement will get attacked, and they spawn from certain places. So this is one of the spots that they spawn from around this area. So I'm going to build some defenses here. So let's go into workshop mode, and we are going to go to the main menu and hit defense. There are guard posts, turrets, and traps. I like to use turrets for the most part, but let's set up a guard post, and we're just going to set it right here for now. It looks horrible, but we're going to do it that way. And there are 2 different kinds. There's one with the steps and one without. We're just going to use that one. That's going to give us 2 as soon as someone is assigned to it. And then I'm going to go back out. I'm going to go to turrets. So now we really only have enough for 2. We can't use this one because we don't have the gun nut rank. This one needs science. Gun nut again. We can do this one, but it requires power, and we'd have to build power for it. So, and it's just the spotlight, and it only produces like 2 defense, so we don't really like that. And the other ones are science and gun nut again. So we're going to build this one, which produces 5. I'm going to travel over to the 2 other spots where they spawn from. One is going to be here, down in this area that leads to the river. So I'm going to drop a turret right there, which gives us enough, but since I'm here, I'm going to go for overkill. There's a formula for it, which I don't remember right now, but basically if your defenses outweighs your food, water, and power by enough, then the likelihood of you getting attacked is very slim. So we're going to drop this other one here because they come from this area. And now we have that. If we look at our top part now, so we had 5 people. We built, or we planted enough food for them, enough water, enough defense, and enough beds. The happiness meter is on the rise because we've met all of that. And our size is still pretty good, although we're over halfway done. So we'll go ahead and exit out, and we'll talk to Sturgis to let him know that we built the defenses.
Sturgis.
Thanks for doing that. We'll all sleep better at night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah, I think this is it. Home. Feels good.
I was glad to help.
Well, I appreciate it. Of course, you know you're welcome anytime. My door's always open to you. Windows, too. Some of the walls, actually, come to think of it. I guess I better get back to it. Take care now.
Alright, now we get some XP. We leveled up again. And then Codsworth liked that, so he likes us more. We are going to... Well, it looks like we leveled up twice. So... I want... locksmith, so I can pick advanced locks, and hacker, so I can do advanced terminals. And then let's go over some more of the building, but we're going to scrap a bunch of stuff first so that we have some more materials. Now, what I wish they would have is, as you can see, like when we came up, Mama Murphy was hammering on the side of this. There's different spots where they'll, like, work being in quotes, work on the buildings here, but they never actually get anything accomplished. They just hammer for no reason, just for something to do, apparently. Which would be, you know, it would be cool if they would, like, do more stuff and maybe, like, clean up the place, you know, while I'm out doing things. Like, maybe sweep up some of these leaves, all that stuff. But they do not. So we are going to scrap some of this just to see if we can get enough so I can show you some more of the building aspect. And we have another safe. Let me just finish clearing this out. And it's advanced, so we can give it a shot. So it's going to be the difference with the locks is that there's a shorter range for what can be correct.
Sweet.
So when you're doing it, like the easier ones, there'll be a longer range of degrees that'll be correct for it, so you don't have to like worry about making too many small movements with the bobby pin in that arc, whereas the advanced ones will be more minute and so on until you get to the highest level, where just like, you know, the difference between opening and closing is just like a very, very small tap with the controller. Alright. We're not going to do too much more scrapping. We should have enough for what we're going to do here. I am going to take everything in this house. Oh, there's another gun. Let's pick that up. So this has a bomb on it. As you can see, there's a tension trigger and a makeshift bomb. So we're going to disarm the tension trigger, we're going to disarm the bomb, and then we're going to unlock the safe. So when I was talking about the degrees before, it's this that I'm talking about. So the difference between being right and being wrong is more like this area for the novice, and then like half that for advanced and half that for the next one up. Oh, that was a quick break.
Got it.
All right. Medics, nice. Okay, let's see if we can build something here. Now let's start with this house. So I'm going to build a generator. So I'm going to go on the power and build a generator. So they come in a couple different sizes. The only ones we can build is this one, which produces 3. This one produces 5. There's a 10, but you need science. A 3. Oh, I guess we can do this one as well. That does 3, but we're not going to really use that one. And then this one requires rank 4 in science, but you can do a fusion generator, which produces the most. We're just going to do a small one right now, just to show you what's going on. So you can place a generator whatever. You don't have to worry about powering it up more, giving it more fuel. It'll just keep running, but it does make that noise, if you can hear it, all the time. If it does get damaged, you'll have to come back and repair it, but that's later on. So it has this little antenna sticking out. That's for connecting wires to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to connectors and switches, and I am going to, let's see, I'm going to do a connector here, and I'm going to put this, actually I don't think that one does what I need it to do, but we're just going to do that anyways. So we're going to put this here, and then we're also going to build a switch the same one, so you can just see. So I can connect a wire by hitting Y once and then highlighting what I want to connect it to. And I'm going to do the same to the switch. So these are all now connected, and power goes through all of these, and then I can use the switch to turn the power off from anything connected to the switch and power back on. So if we go in here, then hopefully if I did it right, these should have a radius. So I should be able to go into lights, and I just have one bulb here that I put in, and as you can see, it is on. So now you can have lights for your settlement. Most of them will tell you exactly how much they need for power. But I don't think this one, I think this one just says power. So if we're in the workshop mode, yeah, it just requires power. So it doesn't specify it. Now I can move it. So if I grab it, oh shoot, that built another one. Hold on. Let's store. Okay. So if I build one, and then if I select it and move it, it should tell you exactly how far it goes. So see, it turned off. So that's as far as that those conduit and switch will work. So you can kind of place it where you want to. I'm just going to place it right by this fan. And then it'll be turned on. Now if I want something else, let's say like a light box. I'm just going to put this on the ground. So it needs power to get to it. So we're going to connect this to the switch, if it'll let us. Okay. And now it has power. And this one, it does different colors. So while it's powered, if you hit the A button, it'll cycle through the different colors that it has. And you can use them to make designs as long as you have enough power and enough light boxes. I'm just going to leave it as this blue right now, and then I'm going to go over and hit the switch on this. So the switch is off, which means the power is off, but the light's still on. So this conduit is what radiates the power through here, and then the switch is what tells certain things that you can or cannot be on. Since this doesn't need radiated power, it actually needs connected power. The switch tells it that you can be off or on from that. But since this does not require, the light bulb does not require a dedicated connection, and it can run off radiated power, then that can do that. Oh, that's where that is. So I did accidentally do the light bulb there. All right, let's store that. So that's how power works, and you can, you wire as much as you want, and as long as there's the power for it, then it all should work. And you can do things like there's street lights. So let's see if we can drop that one here. We'll connect it to the switch, and then you have a street light. And then you can use, like what I like to use, I use street lights to go along the street here, and then go to the different houses as needed when I'm building stuff. That looks a little crooked. Let's fix that. Oops, I was already in it. We'll select it, and then I'm going to use the trigger buttons to rotate it. Why is that off-centered? That's weird. Alright, we're just going to leave it. The other things you can do is you got some neon lights where you can spell things out. There's manufacturing and marquees that you can do. And there's logic gates, which are pretty weird, but you can do some cool things with them. We're not going to get into most of that right now. We're just going to do the light, which shows you how that works. So we can store this because we don't need this anymore. And when you store it, the wire goes away as well, so you don't have to worry about the wire at all. I'm going to take away the switch because we don't need the switch. It was just there for showing purposes, so we can just connect this directly there, and now we still have lights, and we still have that light. The other things you can do when you're building is you have some decorations. You have some flags, and you'll get more flags in there. Since we joined the Minutemen, we have the Minutemen flag and the USA flag. You have wall-mounted decorations, which you'll need other stuff for. We can't put any of these here. These are like hunting trophies. You have a random selection of paintings that you can put on the wall. We're actually going to drop one of these on here. We'll drop that one. I kind of like that one. And so you can spruce up the place that way. These ones are powered ones, so if you actually have to connect a wire to this, but it will light up these different posters that are here. You got your signs, pre-made signs, the lettering that you can do, and miscellaneous stuff that you can put on here. Since we're near a lake painting, let's put some of these here. And as you can see, it gives you experience. Now I'm going to, let's see if I can find what I was looking for. I think it's under miscellaneous. And of course it's not going to be, because that would be too easy. It's under displays. Display cases. No. So let's go to furniture. Containers. Where is this thing? Shelves now. Let's try miscellaneous here. Here we go. All right, so this is a bobblehead stand. This is where I put all the bobbleheads. So let's just drop this. Actually, we'll drop it in my house. Next to the magazine rack. Okay, so now I can transfer the bobblehead and it will display it right there. You still get the bonus to it because you've already collected it, and collecting it's the only thing that you need. Same with the magazines, you don't have to carry it with you. And it's got a space for all the bobbleheads that are there. So as you can see, there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's 20 of them that are there to find, and they're all over the place, so you have to like keep a lookout for them. I don't believe I've found all of them because I never really cared too much to find them all, but maybe through this walkthrough, if people want it, then we can do that. So that's the basics for the settlement building, and you can do other things with it, like make your own structures or make structures that are there. Let's see if we have enough. So under structures, you got wood, metal, concrete, a warehouse type, barn, scaffolding, boxcars, doors, fences, elevators, ball tracks, and miscellaneous. You pick which one you want, and then you have options. So there's prefabs, which are these. You got a column with different roofs on it. Some have walls. Different amounts of walls depending on what you want to build, and then there's these half shacks, or there's an actual like shack itself, which you can just drop pretty much wherever there's space for it, on the ground, on these slabs, wherever you can fit them. And then there's this huge one that you can build. I'm not a huge fan of these, although they're quick and easy. If you want to build like a separate individual space for someone, And there's also the metal ones, which is the same thing, and they have their own prefab little shacks or a large shack, depending on how you want to do that. But the rest of the stuff doesn't really have too much of that. You have tiles that you can put on the floor, like these ones, and they can go on the ground wherever. You have the ones with the concrete, so you can like put them at different heights. The concrete part is what helps be able to put it into the ground if you need it. There's different shapes, different sizes, and they usually connect. You got walls, different kinds of walls with doors and windows or columns. Roof parts, which you can also use as floors, stairs, and then just miscellaneous stuff that's usually railings. So we're going to build a couple of wood stuff here. Just a basic area. And usually what I'll do is I like to try to match it up to the corner. Like I'll drop it and then come over here and we'll try to get it as straight as possible, because I'm crazy like that. But for now we're just going to drop it here. And once it's dropped, usually like pieces will connect. So I can drop this here, but it's not going to be in line and it's hard to line it up. But if you get closer, it should snap to it like that. And now it is squared up to it. And you can do a couple of those. And as you can see, I'm getting experience every time I build something, which is why I like to build things before I go too far, so I can level up and be stronger. So we have a base, and then I'm going to do some walls here to go on the outside. As you can see, they snap as well. Sometimes they can be finicky, so depending on where you're at and what's going on, like you'll get something like this where it'll snap here. So be careful of where you're placing it so you don't accidentally snap it where you don't want it. And then I'm going to skip that for now. And I'm going to move to a doorway. And we'll put that there. So now there is a door here. And then we're just going to build one structure. So I'm going to move to the roof. And we are going to put on these metal roofs here. And now we have a one-level structure with a basic roof. In this game, there'll be like radiation storms that happen. You're not really protected inside. If you're there, no matter how well you build it, like if you build it out of concrete or whatever, you're still going to get hit with some radiation. So you don't have to worry about how it looks too much. Just whatever you like, go ahead and put it there, because it doesn't really matter too much for protection. And then let's go back out, and we're going to go to doors, and we're going to pick a door to go here. I'm going to choose this one. So now, open the door, close the door, there's a door. And then you can build stuff in here, add a generator, build lights, whatever. You can build different stories for it, since there are stairs. If I go back here, we're just going to build some stairs, but not those stairs. We're going to build these stairs under here because I like these better. So as you can see, you can build up, but there is going to be a height limit. So if you see right here, it's red. That means that's as high as you can build. So what I'd usually do is find the height one, and then I would take away this, and I would make this height right here. This would be my base level.
That had to hurt.
Yeah, that was bad. So the top of this one would be the floor, And then if you guessed right, we're going to use this combination for roof and floor. Then what should happen is I should be able to build a complete floor on here with roof. Yeah, so that's as high as it goes. And then, like I said before, when you're in the workshop mode, you can see around the settlement this green areas where you can't build past. Sometimes you can build something like on this, like mostly on this side, and then build a wall for it. It all depends on where you're at. So if I build the floor, you know, like it's partly covered, but it still lets me when it's like half. So if I do that, you can see that it's, oops, sorry. You can see that it's covered partially there, but I can build a wall on that side of it. So depending on where you're at, you can do that for the outside, and sometimes you can do that for the height of it, where the roof is like out of the height zone, but the rest of it is in. So just, you know, mess around with it, see how it goes, and you know, build whatever you like to build. It's kind of like a Bob Ross painting, where this is your world and you make it how you want to make it. So we are going to stop here for now. We finished a couple quests. We went over the basics of building. And let's see, what quests do we have? So next we're going to travel to the Commonwealth. We're going to ignore this Raiders at Oberland Station for now. Like I said, these are not time sensitive. You don't have to get there right away. So we can continue on with the main quest. The other thing with the settlements is that every now and again you'll see something pop up that says this settlement is under attack. You'll want to fast travel there pretty quick to help out with the attack, otherwise you'll lose it, and you'll lose like supplies at that place and happiness for the settlement. So you kind of want to get there as soon as possible, but if you set up enough defenses, you shouldn't have that issue. That fall took a lot out of us. So I am going to go and actually let me build the bed for myself. We can show this as the last thing here. So my HP is low, and I have some rads. I'm going to sleep for 6 hours. And now our health is all the way back up to where the rads are. The only way to get rid of the rads is to do like a Rad-X, or to get, I'm sorry, not Rad-X, Rad-Away, I think it is. Let's double check. I'm wrong on both of those usually. Yeah, so if you do a Rad-Away, it'll take off your rads. I'm not too worried because it's not a lot of rads. Or if you find a doctor in the Commonwealth, they can cure your rads for you for some caps. And we'll probably encounter that on the next one. But for now, that's it. So have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time.